What's up, what's up? This is Asher Roth, and you're listening to John Doe Radio, where we make moves, man. This is reform. This is positive. This is good. I like this. John Doe Radio.
You're listening to the John Doe Radio Show.
It's crazy because we're right now.
Are we recording?
They say that if it works, don't fix it. Go against the law, might get a bit risky. No offense to y'all, but I feel a bit gifted. So I think my odds are about 50-50. Crispy. Okay, corral, we about to put it down. Take the 10 and turn around, go and pull your pistols out. But what is this about? All these grenades and handguns. Magnus for Magnus, a strong set of hands, son. Tall, dark, handsome, holding y'all for ransom. Strong arm Lance, so scared that he can't run. Cause when a man comes face to face with his fear, it gets weird. He can't hear, he can't see things clear. I be sincere, yes dear, guest here. Press gear, dress queer, fresh in my neck beard. Next year, net year, jet leer, get near. Top tier, drop tears, no way, not here. Cause there's no crying in baseball, and that's that. There'll always be a case called when Ash rap. Bars will take your face off, no cat scratch. Go ahead, ask wreck, racks on racks. Yeah, that, for a pat on the back after I black tackle and spat on cap without impacting my breath. Climb the ladder, success, skipping and missing a step. New addition to spitting, you should've listened to Flex. It's like, I try to tell them, but they don't know. I try to tell them, but they don't know. I try to tell them, but they don't know. Oh, no. I try to tell them, but they don't know. I try to tell them, but they don't know. I try to tell them, but they don't know. Oh, no. Slick dickies, no one can stick with me. Spit it out quick as soon as the shit hits me. Kill swiftly, bit ills and stick stickly. Double dip dips, I dibble and bust quickies. Nifty little shit, I do it while dressed thrifty. Pricks just stiff, my stick is so shifty. Sick, Fred McGriff with the hits coming lefty. Used to be for free, now the seat's never empty. It's elementary, yeah I heard it in assembly. Principal was telling me I better go ahead and read. Never be a better me, better off, better me. Not really a better, but I'm betting that I better be better with the rhetoric, set it up and let it rip. I better forget it, man, kid's a fucking lunatic. Looney Tune, lunar eclipse. Every blue moon might see a few shooting strips. I try to tell them, but they don't know. I try to tell them, but they don't know. I try to tell them, but they don't know. Oh, no. I try to tell them, but they don't know. I try to tell them, but they don't know. I try to tell them, but they don't know. Oh, no.
Welcome to the John Doe Radio Show. I am your host, John Doe. How you guys doing?
Good morning. How's it going?
How's the audience doing? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Hold on here. Let me get a hold of these levels.
It's Friday. Hard.
It is a Friday.
It's hard not to have a good day on a Friday.
It is hard not to have a good day. Yeah, what you just said.
What I said.
Carry it for a second there.
Except for watching out for these speed traps this weekend.
What is it? What do you mean?
Well, because of the
holiday, they're going to be all over the place.
That was smooth, Chad.
It's a holiday?
On the way here.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's.
On the way here.
Doe.
Hold on, check mic. 1 2 1 2 check check check. 1 2 1 2 1 2 check.
Testies.
Oh my goodness,
Testies.
man. The levels were fine.
1 2.
And then I just forgot to check the mics before the show. It's all good. Yeah, nice little throw in there, Chad. That was fantastic. On the way to the studio today, I was like, hey, we should talk about how there's possibly going to be some DUI checkpoints this weekend. We'll talk about that in further extent here in a minute.
That's why people are getting excited to drink green beer already.
But right off the bat, as long as people don't... if people are listening to the beginning of the show, dude, you're absolutely right, Chad. People will talk about here in a little while how... I mean, it's
most likely going to happen.
It's going to happen a lot more this year in Colorado, and you're probably going to hear it on the news after this weekend about how many people were caught for DUIs in cannabis. I'm sure that even some cops have it in their mind that, you know, if they find enough people DUI with cannabis here, that it could affect the DUI legislation going through in Colorado.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that?
Don't give them a reason.
That's a good point. It could be a trial run sort of thing.
Could be crazy this weekend. But either way, be careful. Do not drink and drive, please.
Just going to stay home all weekend.
Do not drink and drive. Don't smoke and drive this weekend. It's a very real possibility you could end up with DUI. Anyway, all right. Big thanks to Cannabis Radio. That's where you can check us out Monday through Friday, 11 to 1. Monday through Friday, 11 to 1 on iCannabis Radio. Go to iCannabisRadio.com to also check out our video. For some reason, I also can't. I'm trying to get the camera, your camera. If you notice here, it's a little bit high. And I don't mean high, it's in the good way.
Like it's pointing up.
It's pointing up a little bit. But then I switch over to this, the grab screen. Oh, I closed it out. Oh,
if I sat up, would it help or not?
Yeah, that might help a little bit. Yeah, do that.
That's not going to last long, though. I like slouching. I was always a kid who got yelled at for leaning back in the chair. I never fell.
Here, Chad, gets up and put it under there, right there.
All right.
Here, wait, I got a pen.
That ain't going to last.
It's so going to last.
Nice.
Bam! Look at how much of them. There's always a MacGyver in the group. Stoner MacGyver in the group. I think we may have like 3 here.
Yeah. All the crap over here is either too big or flat. So, except the pen I need to use.
Oh, yeah? All right, anyway, today on the show, on iCannabis Radio.
This show,
we'll be talking about Washington cannabis situation. I'll read you a couple articles pertaining to the Washington situation to catch up on what's going on there. Massachusetts ruling on dispensaries. We'll talk about that. I'm sure that Bike has a few things to input about that. The Nevada decriminalization may possibly happen. Federal marijuana bills are popping up. Nick Diaz fight is this weekend on UFC. I haven't been much of a UFC fan since it's been out or anything. I just was never really into, I mean,
I like it. It's cool.
I agree that it's okay for sport. I mean, I just never really enjoyed watching it, and then I started to watch it a little bit, and then I started to enjoy it more.
I like watching that Bully Beatdown when it was on. Did you see
Bully Beatdown? I saw that a few times. That was lame.
It was funny.
MTV.
Yeah, some of them dudes are huge.
That guy
toss them around like nothing.
Wasn't that that was an MMA fighter that
hosted it? Yeah, what was his name?
I
don't know. Yeah.
Anyway, that was crazy show there. But Nick Diaz, why I'm talking about it now is because Nick Diaz just got off of a 1-year suspension for marijuana, and I read an article. I'll read the article we read today. Assuming we do get to it. Sometimes we don't get to it. That article...
You should just say some of the things we may cover today, and then your ass is covered.
Some of the things we may cover today on the John Doe Radio Show.
Include, but not limited to...
I know. The Nick Diaz fight this weekend, UFC, covered that. And he smokes... He's a legal medical marijuana patient in California. So he smokes all the time. Another part of this story talks about how Dana White isn't necessarily against the whole marijuana issue, isn't like, I mean, he's obviously, what he ends up saying in here is that it follows you have to follow the rules. He's not saying that he agrees with that rule, but you have to follow it. It's an interesting article. We'll get to that hopefully here, and I'm probably going to try and check out that Nick Diaz fight. Root on a fellow toker. I think most of those guys are probably token, right, though? I think that came out in an article that I saw a while back that UFC fighters, NBA basketball, everybody was using cannabis, not as necessary, and some of the, like the UFC, I think maybe the NBA have stated it's a performance-enhancing drug. That it's a performance, and we'll read in the article and what Dana White's response is to that. A lot of painkiller action.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of respondents, I think, in professional sports, I think that's what they say they use it for.
Yeah, probably need it after
that and
those guys
recreational.
get effed up, don't they?
Yeah, me and my grandpa had a long conversation one time about he loves the Broncos. He's never missed a Broncos game in years. I mean, there's only a couple games he's probably missed in 50 years or so. I don't even know. A long time, dude. My uncle's the same way. I don't think he's ever missed a Broncos game since he started watching them, which may seem crazy, but it's not.
Yeah,
like that's the dang truth. It's a Sunday is a religious holiday for a different reason for them. It's football day. Anyway, interesting topic, because more and more as cannabis becomes prevalent and it's legalized and people are punished less and less for it, it's pro sports. I mean, obviously pro sports are going to be affected by this, and athletes. It's really a surprise. It may not be a surprise to everybody else, but it's a surprise to me how many NBA players that I've heard personally from other players and from news reports. When I was a news reporter, people that I've met here in the past couple of years. Fortunately enough, we've got to meet a few NFL players. We had Tatum Bell on the show, hanging with us, and such an idiot. I can't remember the other guy's name. Player from he went to Oregon specifically because Oregon weed was good to play college football, and then came here to the Denver Broncos. I can't remember his name. He's gone through some shiz.
But he said he went to
Or
Oregon.
wait, no, maybe he hasn't gone through some shiz. I can't remember what the guy's name is. I wish Warren was here to save us, because he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Tatum almost did a show here, but I think he's pretty much like, I think he's given up all that, talk about greens and all that stuff, because he's now a high school football coach at Smoky Hill or something like that. I don't know. It's pretty cool though. Tatum's a cool guy. I really like Tatum Bell. There's a bit of a story behind him when he went to Detroit. It's kind of, I think, the reason why he may not possibly be in the NFL. There's some elite clubs in this world.
Lame.
You still alive over there?
I'm here. I'm just bored by sports.
Bored by sports. I'm sure there's a lot of people
for the most
bored
part.
by that conversation. We rarely ever get into sports, so it's nice.
Just letting you go at it and get out of your system.
It's nice to get. This kind of leads into something else too. I mean, it's been a while since I've had sort of this. This is weird to say in a way, but this is sort of how it's going to come out weird. But yeah, either way, I'm going to say it. This sunshine taste in my mouth and a gleam in my eye.
Yep.
It didn't sound as weird as that dude last night on the game we watched. That guy. He didn't even try to be funny. It was just ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway,
back to weed.
We were watching YouTube. But no, I feel good about stuff. I enjoy things. So I used to love sports, and then life got stressful and serious.
That'll happen.
Went to broadcasting school, and I think it kind of changed around kind of broadcasting school, and right before that, when I was running this, when I was a director of operations for this ESPM group, and just had a shiz ton of responsibility with this group over a period of time.
Did you say ESPM?
Yeah, Entertainment and Sports Management.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, managed these buildings and the parking lots outside Fiddler's Green, which is now what's it called now?
Comfort Dental or something?
Is it Comfort?
Yes.
Or it was.
Coors Amphitheater? Comfort Dental
We'll
Amphitheater?
check again.
I don't
There's
know.
something new every year.
Yeah, it's something new every year. And it also sucks. That place sucks because they have a... it doesn't exactly suck, I guess, but they have a curfew. So they, like, flip the switch.
At what time?
At, like, 10 or 11 o'clock at night, dude.
Every concert in Massachusetts, it's always ended at 11 o'clock. So
Red Rocks
I'm
has
used
one,
to
too.
it. 11 o'clock?
Yeah, it's something like 11 or 12. Something like that. I don't know. They have a curfew.
But you know some places that don't have a curfew here?
There are some places, yeah.
Wow.
That aren't, like, necessarily near... They're either enclosed
See,
or they're not near houses.
I've always heard of concerts that went on until 4 in the morning, but had never been to one.
4 in the morning. I said Warren's at a ski resort. Did I mention that?
You did.
He's in Utah,
Utah.
which mad props to Warren Edson, one of our sponsors here at the John Doe Radio Show. The John Doe Radio Show is located at Cannabis Radio, which is also here at the offices of Edson, Mayton, and Matz. Make sure you give them a call if you need criminal defense or medical marijuana business consultation. Any criminal defense, medical marijuana defense, criminal defense.
You know what? When a guy from Colorado
Everybody knows
goes to Utah to go skiing, that just means he must have skied every slope here in Colorado.
I think there's something about it. Like, there's something special about Alt. So, he knows somebody or something there. So, and it's a good get. I mean, I was about ready to say it was a good getaway to Utah, but hey, when you're a lawyer, you can go to Utah.
Just leave your weed at home.
When you're a lawyer. All right. Warren Edson, Edson, Mayton, and Matz. WarrenEdson.com, WarrenEdson.com. 303-831-8188. That's 303-831-8188. Fantastic lawyer. I call him when I need him. Weird enough, I've called him a few times. And big thanks to Element 420, 82 South Federal Boulevard, 303. And hey, I'm still here. That must mean I must
Doing something right.
Element 420, 82 South Federal Boulevard. I think we're gonna try and get some of this wax this weekend. If you talk to Alex, tell him, or Alex, if you're listening, or if you talk to Alex here coming up, mention to him that we won't try and swing by if he's gonna be at the.
I need to go see Alex maybe today, actually. I do know that if you go over there today, they have
Are you trying to
sale going on for some ounces, a couple ounces they have on sale.
We should do the rest of the show like this.
If you like some, you want to
Oh,
smoke.
that's way loud.
You want to smoke some cheese? They got $150 ounces of cheese, and they got $160 ounces of Power Kush. They both stink.
Okay, that's good.
Ridiculously like Kush, and the cheese smells like diarrhea, like just like that indica. You love it.
You didn't just.
You know what? Everyone knows what I'm saying when weed smells like diarrhea. It's that.
No, I don't know what you're saying, dude.
But it's like it's acceptable. It's pleasant diarrhea, like baby poo.
No, there's not. Stop.
geez.
Okay, move on to the next
No,
one.
I'm telling you.
I'm
You
glad
know what I'm talking
glad
about.
that you're friends with Alex.
Alex knows
glad
what I'm
that
talking
you are
about.
friends with Alex.
Alex knows what I'm talking about because he grew it.
He's gonna.
That's awesome.
He's gonna be
Chad,
like,
you
what
ever
the
smell
hell,
indica
dude?
that smells like baby poo, diarrhea?
No.
I don't think so. Not
got-
that I remember.
Say no, Chad.
Maybe I just have the wrong
Everyone else knows
flavor
what I'm
or
talking about.
the
Promise.
wrong. I don't know.
There's something wrong with you, dude.
That's crazy.
There's really something
Again,
wrong with you.
but that has nothing to do with this.
Wait, is that so? That's the bud they have. Now, what about the waxes? Since you got that up right there, which you can go to element420.com.
I don't have the wax list here.
I was trying to spell it out while I was thinking about that. Oh, you don't have the wax there? Element.
I don't have the wax
FOUR20.com. We'll check it out and then I'll report back
What's the phone number over there?
if we get a chance to get over there.
Put it out so people.
What's the phone number? 303-945-4774. That's 303-945-4774. Element 420 at 82 South Federal Boulevard. CO2.
Tim, don't you ever come across a strange dog shiz or cat piss?
What the heck, dude? This is not...
They're just strange that everyone knows, but someone just talking about in the
Yes,
chat room.
I have come across
Do you know
cat
why?
piss.
Okay. Do you know why it's called that?
Because it smells like cat piss, probably. You know what's
Probably.
funny is that Scott from Rare Dankness They might mention this, have mentioned this, because before when we were doing the show, Scott from Rare Dankness brought in like a bunch of phenos of cat piss, and I was like trying them out.
Cats.
It was really good. It's like it's not. I don't like a lot of sativas, but I'm more and more here these past couple of months. This month, I said that, mentioned that I wasn't smoking a lot of greens before. I've started to pick up the green smokage a little bit more, and people have been generous and gifted their legal buds, 100% completely gifted, and I'll smoke good greens, man. I'll smoke really good greens. And you know what Colin said yesterday? I thought about that a little bit more last night, about how dispensaries in Colorado, and it's really hard to find. It's kind of what I think he was trying to get to. They're really hard to find really top shelf, consistent greens. But then if you get something from maybe a private reserve, a private caregiver, then you usually end up with something pretty damn tasty and something pretty damn sugary. I still agree that you can find good greens, and we here in Colorado have some of the best greens in the world. But you can find good greens probably anywhere, good homegrown and stuff.
Sure, if you look around. But
So
it's consistent.
So I'm enjoying a little bit more the good greens, and I'm a little bit more into some of the sativas that people are growing out, because I think they're growing out well. They're flushed really well. I am very impressed with the greens that we got here.
The nug Colin gave us yesterday, that was 90 days of flower.
That was very clean. Very, very clean. I loved how it smoked. Which that nug yesterday was...
the Red Widow.
Yeah, the what he said was it's the argued Cold Creek Kush strain.
Yes. I rewatched that last night and watched your eyes pop out of your head when you did the math problem, and you were like, 2 + 2 = 4. It's you!
I didn't get to watch the whole show last night. I did. I'm sure my eyes were like...
You went back like 3 times, and you're like, oh my God, it's you!
Dude, what? You know what was funny? You know what's really, really, really was ironic? When I was flipping through the internet, and then... sorry, I lost my train of thought there. When came time to watch the Hemp Connoisseur yesterday on iCannabis Radio, I wanted to check it out, which you should too, because it is a very good show. I enjoy it very, very much. I'm not sure. I can't remember the host name there. That's ridiculous of me not to remember the host name on there. But also runs the Hemp Connoisseur magazine, I think. And we're going to have to get him in here and talk with him, because... Number one, that's interesting that he runs the magazine. 2, he's a fantastic host. He did a fantastic job. Adam Dunn was on last night on the Hemp Connoisseur. So if people know TH Seeds, Cold Creek Kush, you can go back and search for it. Search Adam Dunn and search through the shows. And if you want to listen to this story a little bit, we tell the story of Cold Creek Kush. There's coal. But if you want to go back and listen to it, we tell the story of that. You can search Cold Creek Kush. And he'll give you that story. I don't want to get into it, because I've heard so many different versions. I don't even want to repeat it. But it's interesting that was Colin. But yeah, he was talking about dispensaries. Getting back to that fact.
Seems like it's all water under the bridge.
Getting back to that fact. I don't know. I don't know. It could be. Probably is. Adam's a cool guy. A really, really cool guy. Like he was talking about last night. Being a breeder, and like he said before on the show, he used the same analogy on our show that he did last night and talked about it. It's like there's DJs, producers, beat makers when it comes to people that breed cannabis. Mm-hmm. And, some people aren't the best DJs, but they're good producers and make incredible beats. And, it's like everybody's sampling everybody else's stuff. And I agree with what he said last night and what he said on our show before, is that, that breeders need to start getting credit for this stuff, Need to start having, it's like Adam Dunn's original blueberry, or not original blueberry, original bubblegum was like one of the originals. This is the OG, but it was completely stolen.
Bubblegum is my favorite strain in the world.
It came in and chopped the plants and stole everything. The whole pheno and everything that he had.
That's
which
vicious.
is the original bubblegum. And if I'm wrong, then I give up on remembering anything. Seriously.
I want to say I smoked that as early as like 96.
I said what's up to him last night in the chat room, the iCannabis Radio chat room, and he said hey. So we'll have to get it back on. That constitutes a hammer going back into building bridges again. So yeah, I'd love to have him on. It'd be awesome. By the way, free promotion for them at Hood Lab. If you're listening and want to go down and check out the April 15th, their Carnival starts, and it's this awesome cannabis adult carnival. Yeah, cannabis themed adult carnival. I don't mean like adult carnival like that adult carnival. I mean cannabis, 21 and over, and should be a fantastic time. If you want to check that out, I'm sure on Facebook they have it somewhere under Hood Lab and all that good stuff. And I'm sit back and chilled and relaxed today, man. It was that water hash candy apple action that I had before the show.
Oh, dang.
I took some wax and then took some water hash on top of it and then put it on top of a hot nail, melts, and most of it goes off. The water hash melts inside the hot oil. Nothing left.
Cool.
Also today, if we get a chance to get to it, and I don't ramble on here forever about whatever, we'll talk more about it. Like I said, we'll talk about a few sports stories if we get a chance later on. Read you a few sports stories. Hawaii has a few bills going through. St. Louis cop. This one blew me away, and we'll probably definitely get to this one. Chad, make sure I get to this one. St. Louis cop is a pro-marijuana lobbyist. Now, this is one story that I've seen that's ran this, but my spidey senses, I don't know why I said spidey, my canna senses tell me,
Your canna senses are jonesing?
my canna senses tell me that this guy, this story is pretty true. I'd like to follow up on this, but I wanted to make sure that you guys heard about it. Now, we've talked about LEAP before. We've had people from LEAP on the show, but this is crazy. This is like, I mean, not crazy. It's awesome. LEAP law enforcement against prohibition are usually former cops, but I've never talked to a current police officer from LEAP. And in fact, now that I think about it, there may be ones out there that are on LEAP. But either way, this story blew me away because it's the first time that I've really heard of it or remember specifically that it stuck out to me like, whoa. But this guy is a pro-marijuana lobbyist. I'll read you the story. And the police department is now trying to get him to stop. You have to get approved for a second job as an officer.
That's crazy.
At least in St. Louis. I don't know if that's like that everywhere. So if you want to do anything, you got to get approved. So they approved it.
Remind me never
Now
to be
they're
a
trying
cop.
to take it away. Remind you to never be a cop?
Yeah, I don't want to be a cop. I don't need one approval.
They won't let me be a cop.
Good. I like you better now.
I don't want to be a cop. There was a point in time in my life when I was little. I think there's a point in time in a lot of kids' lives, and that's an interesting topic too because there's less and less children I think these days that want to be police officers. There's less and less respect. If we end the drug war, I think that would go away a little bit more. Police departments all over have trouble getting their rosters filled. Those are two different stories, but
It's good news.
they may play into each other. What was I saying? Can't remember. I was thinking about water, how parched I was.
Good call.
I need some more energy today. I need some more energy. Iba. Andale, ande. Sorry. And legal marijuana or medical marijuana from Colorado or Kansas, for that matter, have its own medical marijuana system. Is that ever going to fly?
Nope. Maybe a long time from now.
I was going to try not to make a smart-ass comment there. Just
There's a trickle
ridiculously
down
laughed.
effect that's happening all over the world.
It'll happen, but they may be one of the final holdouts.
Kansas?
Yeah, dude. They may have to be flooded with weed. That's another thing, man. Just be careful traveling. Because stories like this are another reason why. I mean, it's obviously becoming a pretty big deal for surrounding states. And I'm sure lawmakers are going to be addressing this issue. Kansas. What are the what's the law? Do you know the laws in Kansas off the top of your head for possession of marijuana? State law?
No.
Cut your balls right off on the side of the road.
You should look that
That's
up.
pretty crabby.
All right.
Kansas law marijuana. So, dude, we have not just randomly bringing this up. I just was like, damn, man, I shouldn't have worn this long sleeve shirt. The other day, I was watching the show, and like my Arkansas shirt has a hole in the armpit here. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. I knew it did, but I forgot. This one's got holes right here. You could be like, I could be like old school black metal.
Yeah.
Wear it like that. I don't know. Anyway, people not watching, listen to audio are like, what the hell? iCannabisRadio.com where you can catch the video.
I got that list here.
It's gonna be hotter than shit. Hatsu today. It's hotter than Miami today. In Denver.
Dang.
It's supposed to be. Like mid 70s. Upper 70s, dude.
Possession of
That's what I heard.
Possession of personal use.
Are you going off about Kansas? I was talking about the beautiful weather.
Any amount. First offense is a misdemeanor. Incarceration of up to 1 year and a fine of up to $2,500. Any subsequent offense is a misdemeanor or a felony up to a $100,000 fine. Cultivation, 5 or more plants is a felony, up to 204 months in jail.
What? 5 or more plants?
Yep. Sale.
That's only Maine.
Sale or possession with intent to sale. Any amount is a felony. 14 to 51 months, $300,000. If you do that same within 1,000 feet of a school, it's 83 months. Paraphernalia possession is a misdemeanor with incarceration of up to 1 year, $2,500 fine. Paraphernalia possession for cultivation of more than 5 plants. So that's just another charge right there. If you can get charged with cultivation and then you get charged with paraphernalia possession for cultivation of 5 more plants, that's an additional 10 to 42 months and another $100,000 fine. $100,000 on top of another $100,000.
All right, you're losing me.
It's a $400,000 fine for growing 5 or more plants.
Man, Kansas has a marijuana tax stamp law enacted. Those who possess marijuana are legally required to affix state-issued stamps to the contraband. Failure to do so is a fine or criminal sanction. What's this? Possession of 5 or more plants is a felony punishable by... Damn. 5 or more plants in Kansas?
That's weird.
You have 5 or more plants?
I heard, so I don't know. I've been told like a seed will get you a long time. All kinds of crap.
Any amount, first offense, misdemeanor, 1 year. Second possession, offense, felony.
That's what I'm looking at, the normal page.
That's a little bit lighter. That's lighter than I. That first offense is a misdemeanor. That's lighter than I thought it was there. I thought it was a felony for. I thought it was. You had made it seem like it was ridiculous in Kansas.
Sometimes it is. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people. I don't know.
It's still ridiculous, but
might get lucky.
that's interesting. Either way, Kansas. It's like debated for an hour. Medical marijuana is, and then just stomped out. Let's read the story. Let's just go ahead into Kansas. Then we'll go talk about Washington and Massachusetts. Appeals court, legal Colorado marijuana still a no-no in Kansas. This had to go to the appeals court? You can still get busted for possession of pot in Kansas even if you got it legally in another state. Oh, that's why. It's not necessarily like Kansans-Sinians. What is it? Kansans.
Yeah.
It's not legal for them to come here and grab weed and take it back, obviously. But if people traveling through there with legal weed, you can't. I mean, you can't. If you're legal here in Colorado, you can't go there. Which
Why go there anyways? Just stay here.
sometimes you got to go through places to get to another place.
Yeah, that blows.
The court took up the question of whether out-of-state marijuana can be legally possessed here because it's likely to come up more and more often now that 18 states and the District of Columbia have legalized it for medical use. Columbia? Voters in 2 states, Colorado and Washington, passed initiatives in November legalizing pot for recreational use as well. The ruling comes in response to a case in which a Colorado man was acquitted of possession of marijuana because he had obtained the pot legally under a doctor's prescription. which has been allowed in Colorado since 2000. The defendant, Troy James Cooper, who lawfully used marijuana under a doctor's prescription in his home state, was acquitted of a possession charge after he was arrested in Ellsworth County, Kansas. Cooper was visiting family and friends, and the marijuana was found during a routine traffic stop. That's pretty interesting. The trial court acquitted Cooper on the grounds that the prosecution violated his constitutional protections under the Privileges and Immunities Clause of the 14th Amendment and impermissibly infringed on his right to travel from state to state. Holy shiatsu, dude! That's the first I've ever heard of this.
That sucks.
That sucks. That's the first I've ever heard of this.
No, I don't know.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. That's good that he has a fantastic lawyer that knows what the hell is going on, and he was acquitted.
Well, yeah. Just had to deal with it.
The state attorney general. What?
Just
that
to
he had
deal with
to
it
deal
in the
with
first
it.
place. Yeah.
State attorney general's office took the case to the Court of Appeals as a question reserved. The process is used as a way to get higher court to rule on a legal question of broad statewide interest to offer guidance for future arrest and prosecutions. So, this is another reason why you need to end the drug war. You see what happened here? The jury said, look, marijuana's not a big deal. This guy's using it legally in another state. How is it you cross an invisible border and it becomes non-medical?
Yeah.
That's what they said.
Like, quit wasting our time.
And then you got some activist judges here that come in. Oh, look at John Doe. He just used the activist judges word. They are, man. They come in here and now, boom, State Court of Appeals overturns this whole situation. That's huge precedent there, man.
Yeah.
That's probably why it can't be used. Clarified it. Said, no, you cannot. That's bull crap, dude.
Full criz.
It doesn't affect the outcome of the trial case, so Cooper is still off the hook. As far as the charges go, lawyers from the Attorney General's office were the only ones to file briefs in the appeals court case. Based on their argument, the appellate court ruled the Privileges or Immunities Clause of the 14th Amendment does not bar the enforcement of Kansas criminal statutes prohibiting possession of marijuana against someone traveling through or staying temporarily in the state, even though that individual possesses marijuana in conformity with another state's law allowing its use and possession for medical purposes. Basically, we're Kansas, and we don't give a fuck who you are.
Or what kind of paper you got.
In those circumstances, the right to lawfully possess the marijuana rests on the state law and therefore is outside the scope of the federal clause. Damn. However, the appeals court did caution that its ruling was narrowly applied to the 14th Amendment question. Judge G. Gordon Atchison says in an opinion written after the ruling, we express no opinion on the constitutional rights or protections that conceivably might afford a defense to a person prosecuted under the Kansas Criminal Code for possessing marijuana legally through another state's laws permitting its use as a medication. Law is such bullcrap. It's like math, like negatives and positive crap.
Faces of math.
You're like, does two negatives equal a positive and negative and positive equal to cancel each other out? And man, I don't know about this. My head's gonna explode. I was a pretty smart dude in school. I got good grades, but I sucked at math, man. I'm pretty good at understanding the whole the law speak, and a dang old reading of bills and legislature. I'm pretty good at deciphering stuff out of that. I just eliminate the words that I don't understand and put the words I do understand together, and I've got good at perception of what that really does say. No, I'm kidding. No, I pride myself on being pretty good at reading law and other stuff like that. But sometimes here it's like you gotta go actually read the whole damn statement and the whole ruling of things. Number one, because the news report contradicts itself sometimes. And other times it'll give the whole story. Other times it'll give the whole story, and you're like, that's one they ruled here, and then no, they ruled here. That's why it's good that we have a lawyer around. Because situations like this, you're like, well, what does this exactly mean then? Well, I think the court just Didn't maybe want to set any precedent? I don't know, dude. That's frustratingly frustrating. It would be weird, though, if Kansas set precedent for everybody. And there was, like, lawyers who started using this and was like, you could use medical marijuana. Everybody and their mother would move here. It'd be like, oh, you can live in Colorado and travel to... You could be Colorado resident and move somewhere or travel somewhere? I'm just visiting family.
Colorado ID is international paperwork for carrying weed around.
I know. It's like within the United States, you're like weed in the car. You got your Colorado ID.
Yeah.
Your Washington ID.
People
sir?
start carrying it like a cop badge and flip it out. Yeah.
Here's my Colorado ID.
Just get it tattooed.
You could be in any of the legal states that would fly like that if that came down to it. You know, I'm a legal patient. Here's my Colorado ID. Here's my red card. my Washington papers. God, that'd be dude. That's interesting. This is brought up because seeing how it's brought up here, man, that could happen. It could happen, dude.
Yeah.
They'll make it easy for us, sure.
Yeah, exactly. 2 stories here, posted at the same time, out of the Seattle Times, winner of 9 Pulitzer Prizes. From their local news, written by Bob Young. Just after Washington voters legalized recreational pot in November, a longtime drug dealer walked into the Olympia headquarters of the State Liquor Control Board. He got a visitor's badge and headed to the agency's boardroom where he met Randy Simmons and a group of select state workers laying the groundwork for a regulated marijuana system untested on the planet for one of the first marijuana systems untested on the planet. The dealer gave a Pot 101 presentation, what it is, how you grow it, products made from it. For the agency charged with implementing the new law, it was a start of a steep learning curve. The agency had 80 years of experience regulating vodka and whiskey, but none with sativa and indica. Which, this writer's funny. He's a creative writer. Good writer. Much of the world was watching Washington as well as Colorado as the 2 states tried to deliver illegal pot to adult consumers, but virtually no one knows Simmons, 60, the bureaucrat leading the spade work on Washington's efforts, the person closest to being the state's ganja guru. While 3 appointed Liquor Control Board members will decide rules and regulations, they're getting much of their information from Simmons and his 11 research teams. And though journalists have gone giddy about the part-time weed consultants the state is hiring by next week, those consultants will report to Simmons and are working in part to conform or dispute research done by his teams. That's awesome. I like that idea. So basically, they have a system like we have here, but doing it a little differently. Having people, 11 teams give suggestions, and then a bunch of stoners and dealers, a bunch of stoners coming in and being like, nope,
Can't have that.
Nope.
No, it won't work.
Isn't a 5 nanogram DUI situation in Washington?
Yep. Pretty sure.
So let's be a little bit more careful this time around, Washington. I still am. I mean, they got it done. We're not going to argue with them. It's just frustrating. Make sure that you be careful in Washington, too, this weekend. We don't want you getting DUIs. Board member Chris Marr called Simmons the man behind the curtain. Agency director Pat Kohler said he's the go-to guy with wisdom and private sector experience. In other words, he's smoked a lot of weed. Known in the agency as the calm problem solver, proves it right there.
You got a problem? It's cool. I got it. That's crazy.
His actual job title is Administrative Services Director. It should be Sucker, jokes Simmons, a grandpa and former insurance company pension administrator who looks a bit like Rob Reiner with a bushier beard. His regular responsibilities include oversight, auditing, accounting, contractors, and IT. There's a lot on his hands. For 60, being an IT guy, that's fantastic. Was that ageist of me?
Ageist, is that a thing?
I don't know. Is it?
It is now. You ageist son of a bitch.
But we read that. He tried to avoid the marijuana duty, he said. Why? Simmons was working at 10:30 on a recent night, and that was a sick day. He and his agency staff appreciates the historic nature of their work. He tried to avoid marijuana duty because it took up so much of his time, I take it. In the Bunker Life office with a view of a retaining wall, Simmons has two whiteboards not far from his Lord of the Rings calendar. This guy's definitely a stoner. The whiteboards are sprinkled with inspirational quotes from... I don't even know this guy. I haven't watched Lord of the Rings or read it. I just know Gandalf. I know Gandalf the Grey, Smash Mouth, and Superman. First writer, I don't know. I'm not even gonna attempt it. Dude, this is. We don't want to know so much about his personal collection of Gandalfs.
I've got a Gandalf.
He says,
glass one.
You have a glass Gandalf? Oh.
Yeah, the big pipe version.
Oh, yeah, a Gandalf pipe. Nice connection there. I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
What you getting to there? His Gandalf collection. All right, anyway. I'm not the policy decision maker, Simmons says. Comparing his job to directing traffic, I'm trying to get everybody to the point where they can make those decisions. One logical initiative 502 calls for is the Board of Liquor to implement the state's new pot system. Here's one thing. Seed to store system. The initiative treats pot like alcohol, a substance adults should be allowed to use responsibly. The architecture of a new seed to store system borrows from state alcohol regulations with a three-tiered structure of producers, processors, and retailers. The agency's troops are well conditioned for the challenge, having spent much of last year in a forced march to dismantle the state's liquor store system after voters decided to privatize it. So Washington had state what? What's the deal with liquor in Washington?
Get you drunk.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Privatize it, smart ass. You don't know the deal with liquor in Washington?
I don't. I've never. One of the few states I've never been to.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna have. I'm pretty sure Adam Hand in here to hang out with us around the High Times Cup. One of those days he'll be on the show, and he's from Washington. I want to sit down with him, and I know he listens to the John Doe Radio Show. I know he's a fan. I'm a big fan of his. He makes fantastic clothing apparel. Puts, cool logos and stuff like that on it.
Adam Hand?
Adam Hand.
You said Adam Dunn.
Did I say Adam Dunn?
Pretty sure you did.
I think I said Adam Hand.
That's out of hand, man.
There's an Adam Dunn
Get it done.
we talked about earlier, and there's Adam Hand. Handmade apparel. We'll go back and listen to that later, and then I'm going to give you shit because I don't think you're right.
I don't know.
If you're right, then if I'm right, if you're right, you can give me shit.
All right. Adam Hand's cool, though.
Give him shiz.
But he doesn't like Metallica. He didn't even know who Kirk Hammett was.
I don't like
Adam?
Metallica either.
That is ridiculous.
You can't assume everybody is
I
a
know.
Metallica fan, my friend.
Well, I know.
Okay.
Maybe not a fan, but you probably know who they are. That's crazy. I was like, you kind of look like Kirk Hammett. He's like, who's that?
I'm a fan of them being assholes about the whole Napster thing.
Oh,
They were definitely jerks.
Yeah, I had a lot of friends that stopped liking him after that.
I didn't like them before then. But
I've seen Metallica before. It's awesome. They played like a 2-hour show, 2.5-hour show.
Dang.
All right, back to this story about Washington.
please.
We'll get Adam in here, and he'll talk about Washington, what's going on there, because he's very well versed in that situation there, and it's cool. And he's a great radio guy. I think he should do radio, man. I think he should do his own podcast. I've loved him every time he's been on the show. If I could have him as a news correspondent all the time, I would. All right, when polling in October showed I-502 likely to pass, agency leaders started planning for another dramatic change. They decided to use the same 11 in-house teams covering finance, technology, enforcement, licensing, and more for pot that guided the privatizing of liquor stores. Some employees voted against I-502 and were uncomfortable with legal pot, Simmons said. Others were stoked about their mission. Either the writer or Simmons is the toker. Still others saw as it is a measure of job security. None left the agency in protest, he said. So they voted against it, but they didn't leave in protest. And it's job security for them. That's okay. We'll take it. will woo you over with the awesomeness of greens. You'll be stoked by the end of it. Dude.
Won't take long.
I'm sorry. Probably the most significant challenge to come in rulemaking is finding the sweet spot in supply and prices that will nourish a state system while undercutting the black market. If the state produces too much pot, it likely will leak into the black market. If it produces too little, the black market may flourish. Similar dynamics are to play in pricing. The black market's going to flourish either way. Let's just stop talking about the black market when it comes to weed anymore. Don't you agree? I mean, people are going to be growing weed just like they brew.
They still have been.
There's a few more paragraphs to this. We won't get to it. Things to say: out-of-state research, alcohol is worse, and basically goes into a little more in depth about Simmons. That whole article was almost about Simmons. This next one, Liquor Board gets up to speed about marijuana. Sharon Foster is the public face of legal marijuana in Washington State. Foster, a retired lobbyist, chairs the Liquor Control Board, the agency charged with creating a new legal pot system. At least we're getting familiar with the people that are making the rules there. It's easy here in Colorado to get lost in our own mix of things, as we continuously say, because we're just bombarded with it. We have access to those people. We're right here. I want to start going to more and more of these. Once the legislature starts to get a hold of this, it would be interesting, Chad, for us to go to these meetings.
It'd be less boring.
It would be awesome for. It would be awesome if one of you two could learn how to run the show from here, and then say I could go to the Capitol or something. The frustrating crap about the Capitol is that I was going to say maybe I could do live reports from the Capitol or something like that, but I have to be outside of the Capitol because there's no cell service inside that marble building, stone. You get no cell service in there.
That's crazy.
It sucks.
What would be the benefit of reporting down there? Just like the
we go down.
Effect.
Well,
Jim Martin live at the State
people that have
House.
been fans of the John Doe Radio Show or paid attention to the John Doe Radio Show, unlike you,
Yes, that's why I'm asking here.
would know that that's something that we originally did a lot. Tweeted out tons of updates from a lot of the meetings when dispensaries were being talked about, and
So you were able to get information down there.
was able to get information.
Okay, that's all I was wondering.
Press passed it in to the meetings.
Yeah.
It was awesome, dude. They recognize the John Doe Radio Show.
Can we use our press passes to get into Nuggets games and whatnot?
You got to go through. See, the thing about press passes is that you can have a press pass, and it's
Yes,
kind of just a
thank you.
pass.
Okay, let me
but
have it.
You got to run it through people beforehand.
Yo, got my pass.
99% of
Coming
the time.
Just show up.
But see, there's also in situations when they're talking about cannabis, and we're specifically dealing with cannabis. They in open meetings, say they close off the meeting though, and there's too many people in it, and situations like that happen. Or if you haven't necessarily cleared your press pass through them, there is a legal right for you to be there, to be reporting to the public on that. So I've made my way a few times in there, argued my way a few times into public meetings where it was like, oh, this isn't gonna fly. Who are you? Mile High Music Festival gave us press passes. We got accredited through them. It was pretty cool. You have to have some cojones sometimes, man, and be like, just ask. And people know when you're coming to Colorado that this is a cannabis state. They've known that for a while, so it's pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
You had Starbucks this morning. I thought you'd be a little more lively. You just sit back, chilled on a Friday. I'm not giving you shiz.
I had iced coffee. That's why I'm
I
chill.
just noticed. Iced coffee, so you're chill. I do like an iced coffee. You should bring me an iced coffee next time.
You know what? I was gonna get you one, but just remember you saying your stomach does something funny. With
I know,
coffee.
but I do like.
Last thing we need is your stomach doing funny things
like it
in the studio because we
ever
know
so
what that
often.
happens.
I do like it ever so often.
How often? Like so, like can I have a better
No, I
idea
don't do
when
that.
to bring
What
it
you
for
were talking about ever so often. I don't know, man.
It'd just be annoying if I brought you a coffee and you were like, "Thanks, man," and
Do you like-
hardly drank any of it.
He likes coffee, so if you
like
brought me coffee, I'd be
cappuccinos
like,
and
"Oh,
stuff.
here
Well,
you
I
go."
wouldn't bring one for just you and not Chad. I'm not a dick.
If you brought it, I'd drink it. Let's just say that. I love coffee. I really do. I love coffee, but I can't drink it all the time necessarily.
All right.
So, and if I have it like at 11, won't necessarily affect my evening. I try not to have coffee even after like.
I could use a coffee right now. Maybe like a coffee delivery service here.
There might be coffee here, dude.
I don't see it. It's up to you.
Chad could go see if there's coffee.
Yeah. Well, I've seen the machine up there, but I don't know where I haven't
What is
seen the little.
That's the hierarchy here.
Chad like the coffee boy.
This is a hierarchy.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep a hierarchy here. You're the co-host. He's the producer. Even though he's sort of.
Chad, coffee,
he's
please.
He's a co-host.
Yeah, I can see if there's any.
See if there's any coffee out there
Yeah.
for
Cool,
for
good.
dude here.
I've seen the machine. I just haven't seen the little packet things. I don't know what
That's Greg.
those little things. Yeah.
Greg made.
You know what's interesting? I did the
Cool.
same stuff for you, unpaid, that you're doing now. So
What's that?
I feel slightly bad because you've helped me out in so
I
many
do
different
too,
ways.
but I could really use a coffee
You've helped me out in so many different ways.
and an English muffin,
You're not getting anything from me this time, so.
peanut butter,
Oh,
some bacon.
I gotta get Chad a bong or something here.
Okay. Hey, thanks for giving me coffee.
Payment
Hey,
for
here's
coffee.
a bong.
No, for tons more than that.
You get a bong.
I need to find a lathe and make him something. Chad's a good guy.
Ned. I can't do it.
Well, you can't say he's a good guy.
I know he's a great guy. I just can't do the Ned laugh that he can do.
I was listening the other day to Bubbly Love Sponge, and
Yeah.
he was like, he heard Ned, and he's like, I don't sound like that. And I'm like,
Yeah, you do.
sometimes you do. Maybe a younger Ned, but sometimes you do. All right. Anyway, people. Somebody asked me yesterday, what shows do I listen to? I listen to Bubbly Love Sponge, and when I get a chance, Joe Rogan's podcast.
That was
'Cause-
Willie Hempseed who asked you that.
Yeah, Willie Hempseed asked me that. Joe Rogan's podcast is pretty cool.
I never heard it.
Back to talking about Washington. Sharon Foster, we talked about, retired lobbyist. She's charged with creating a new legal pot system in Washington. She's also charged with how much weed should be grown, who should grow it, how to keep it off the black market. She also has board members Ruth Ann Quiros and Chris Marr. I wanted to paraphrase that paragraph because there was parts in there I already read. Maybe the whole thing. I don't remember. That was too long ago. It's a Friday. The trio appointed by former Governor Chris Gregoire just completed a series of statewide public forums to hear from activists, advocates, and opponents. Foster has toured grow operations, visited medical dispensaries, and had a guy at Mount Vernon Forum try to give her a bundle of pot, which she refused.
Bundle.
You know what's funny?
Yeah, tell me anyways.
This is pretty funny. You probably maybe had to be there to realize how just ridiculous it was, the situation. But this guy was giving testimony one time for medical marijuana here in Colorado, and he offered, was it the city council or was it? I can't remember. He offered the panel, maybe it was a committee. Anyway, these were legislators, either city council or state legislators, and he offered them some brownies. It was awesome. They were like so. It was seriously like you were. It's a situation where like you were offering someone drugs for the first time, or by drugs I mean pot. You're like, here you go. The person that
Is a bribe?
no, they were just like, here, you want some brownies?
Try a brownie.
It just got done with this thing, and he's like, as a gesture of my goodwill, I'd like to offer you guys some brownies.
Oh, I got it now.
And then he was like, they're non-medicated.
Still
That
a
was
little
more even
weird.
funny part. They were like just taken back by it. Looked at him like, no, sir, that's all right. No, thank you. I'll get my own brownies. Was I think one of them said. I think I have this recorded somewhere. I'll have to find it. Can you imagine as a lawmaker being offered some brownies from somebody sitting there arguing that medical marijuana and legalization should be made?
Yeah, when someone offers
be
you
more
brownies, when someone offers you brownies or any sort of baked good in Colorado, the first thing you have to say
Exactly.
is it medicated? Because if you don't, you're an idiot.
in many circles.
And if you
Yes.
don't, just assume that it is.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't assume that something's medicated in Colorado, you should probably in circles. If you're listening to the show, you come to Colorado, you probably should assume something's medicated if you take it.
The milk is medicated.
There is medicated. I've seen Yes, there is very medicated milk is very effective. It'll knock you on your ass, dude. Cannabis does well in fat. Certain kinds of milk, I think. We were talking about how in Colorado you have to assume that everything's medicated.
Even the coffee sometimes.
People you can put oil in your coffee, and if the coffee's hot enough, it'll activate it, dude.
Or you can put activated oil in your coffee.
Just straight activated oil.
Couldn't find any coffee.
No coffee?
Yeah, and I couldn't find Greg either. So,
Is Greg MIA on Friday?
yeah. I seen one thing there in that little kitchen area. It's like a Keurig thing, but it's a green tea blend or something.
That's
there
not
he is.
coffee.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I looked all
Or
over.
should we throw Greg under the bus? Where was Greg?
There's no speakers
There's a
out there.
good chance
so
that
you
Warren listens to the show quite a bit. No, he's probably
It's
around here
noon.
somewhere.
Greg can do whatever he wants.
He's around here
Lunch
somewhere.
break.
He was cleaning like a mofo earlier.
Yeah.
Greg's the man. Greg's a awesome dude here. If you come to the studio, you'll meet Greg.
I didn't go looking through all the rooms either, so he wasn't in the hallway or in the front. Or,
I know.
I
Like my cringe went up there. I was like, oh, hope Warren's not listening, and Greg was supposed to be here or something like that.
Oh, no. Well, he was probably just circled around.
Everybody should realize we're a radio show, and we'll talk about anything on here, and we'll get people in trouble quite a bit. Why you get people in trouble?
I don't know.
Speaking of trouble, Warren, like I said, Warren's at a ski resort in Utah, and I got stuck on the Utah situation there. But he posted up something this morning, and if he didn't want to make it public, he shouldn't have posted up. He's talking about he's at one of the last ski resorts in the entire nation not to allow snowboarders. He goes, hell yeah, no snowboarders, on his Facebook today. What a hater, dude. Such a hater. I forgot I'm talking to people that don't necessarily get up on a mountain and snow down, board down it.
I just like looking
I've been
at the
snowboarding
mountains.
once.
Once?
Yeah.
The last time I went, the dude gave me a broken board.
Dang.
So I went up on the top of, where did we go? Was it Vail? I can't remember exactly where we went. This was during the time in the middle of everything where I was kind of having a little bit to drink. So I don't exactly remember where we may have gone. But I did spend most of the day in the bar. Where the fuck did we go? I think it might have been... I don't know. Dan, if you're listening, let me know where we went, and then I'll let everybody else know. It was awesome, though. I think it was somewhere where I haven't necessarily been before. It was really cool. Met a lot of cool people in the bar. But went up there on the top of the hill, and I don't think he knew the board was broken. But as I'm coming down, I'm like, this is 10 times harder than I ever remember. 10 times harder than I ever remember snowboarding.
This extreme snowboarding.
I hadn't been snowboarding in like 4 or 5 years at least. And my legs were killing me, and I was like, man, I am really out of shape. I really got to start taking care of myself again. And finally, I got halfway down the mountain, and I was like, this is not going to work. And the ski patrol came over and was like, do you want us to help you down the mountain? And living next to a ski resort for 7 years, I was like so embarrassed. It was ridiculous. And I'm like, no, it's cool. I had my hoodlum JDR jacket on, so everybody knew it was like weed jacket. Probably thinking I was a moron for like, this guy's high and can't even snowboard. I didn't want to give a bad name just to weed and snowboarding, so that was my worst fear with that situation. But anyway, I think this dude Dan, he came flying down and then saw me, and I was driving him nuts probably because I couldn't even move 2 feet in like it wasn't even going like 2 feet a minute. And I just sat there for a while, and finally he's like, "Oh, dude, your board's broken." And I looked down, and there's like the lips all pulled apart down at the bottom, and
I'll slow you down.
you can't snowboard that way. It's amazing that I got as far as I did, actually. Oh, my legs were hurting so bad. I got down to the bottom of the mountain, and I didn't have enough to go rent another board, and also get slightly inebriated. So I'm sure the drinks were like $10 a piece or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, screw it, I'll come up in a couple weeks or something like that. Because dude, if you've ever tried to go down on a broken board right there, that was taxing, man. That was one of the hardest things I've ever done, man. About killed myself. Kept biffing it. Like, I'd get going really good, and then I'd turn on the side that was really kind of broken, and you know where the laminate had come apart, and then it would catch the snow, so you'd be going pretty good, and then it'd be like
Slam.
like, oh, and just lay there for a minute. Oh, it sucked. So I didn't go get another board. I should have, though. I love snowboarding. It's by far the funnest thing to do in Colorado. Never thought I'd be able to get down the mountain high. The first couple of times I went, I was like, you could not be high and do this. You would die.
I don't like ski lifts.
But I was younger when it was like when I first had started smoking greens. The first couple of years I really started smoking heavily greens, and then that's when I went to Breckenridge a ton. Awesome. Love Breckenridge. Yesterday I read a story William Breeze posted up at Breckenridge overseas, like Europe and stuff, talking about how Breckenridge could become the new Amsterdam.
Dang.
It's interesting. Have you been to Breckenridge bike?
Visiting, yes.
You've been up to Breckenridge?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's very.
When'd you go up there?
Right when I first moved here, that's where we got our weed from, Breckenridge.
What?
Yeah.
All the way from Breckenridge? It was probably pretty good weed.
It was really good. We'd go from downtown Denver up to Breckenridge on Sunday afternoon, and we get a QP in mason jars.
Do you know how much weed comes out of Breckenridge? Because I used to get some of my weed out of Breckenridge. I went and picked up a few QPs from Breckenridge.
We'd hang out for a couple hours. The guy we get it from had a raccoon in his backyard that would come out and hang out with us.
A raccoon?
And he'd give it an egg, and it would lay on its back and just jam its hand to the egg and then lick his paws, all the egg off it, dude. It was creepy.
Colorado has some crazy wildlife stories, man.
So we take the QP in 4 jars down the mountain back to Denver, and every time it was fun to open the jars when we got home because the lid would fly off and hit the ceiling because it's pressure drop.
Yeah, because of the elevation up there.
Yeah.
Ah, dude, I love Breckenridge.
That was the first time
I
I
ever been to Breckenridge.
Nope.
We're gonna have to go, dude.
First time I ever got marijuana. I ever heard of marijuana.
Dude, you might have been getting weed from the same guy that I was getting weed
His name
from.
was Jesse.
It might have been the same guy, dude.
That's
Is
crazy.
he from the East Coast?
I know nobody. I think maybe. Because I don't think he came from... I don't think he was here from
New
Colorado.
Jersey?
I don't know, dude.
Specifically?
I don't know. This is just a coincidence. It's not possible.
Yeah. Anyways,
That's interesting, dude. It wouldn't surprise me.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's
Quality,
still up there.
bud.
You did get some weed.
Probably. Breckenridge is a fantastic spot, dude. We'll have to go up there and hang out. During the winter, it's awesome.
Dang.
I like how there's
Awesome.
a chairlift from downtown to the top of the mountain.
So freaking sweet in Breckenridge, dude.
I hate chairlifts. I don't like heights.
I don't like heights either, but
You don't hear too many stories of
I was
people
born in the
dying
mountains.
off chairlifts.
Yeah.
yeah. The worst part about the chairlift is if there's some jackass next to you that doesn't know how to get off the chairlift when you're...
Yeah.
Oh, the camera's not on me.
Oh, yeah.
I was raising...
Yeah, I
dude,
got
learning
ran
how to
over
get off
by
the
it.
chairlift sucks.
Getting on when you're... I had 2 of my friends. They didn't leave me enough space, and I just got, like, nudged and then ran over by it.
A few times I've had a board that didn't have the little... People in Colorado know exactly what we're talking about. People that snowboard and ski. Other people are like, this is such a... Why are we not talking about weed? This is kind of a weed lifestyle in Colorado. There's stoner ass mofos go up on the mat. Anyway, a few times I didn't have a rubber pad like on my. I had step-ins. I love step-ins. I don't like having boots and then the bindings and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of bindings. I like step-ins that just latch in. They're easier to walk in. The boots are, so they're like almost like normal boots. They're not like ski boots or anything like that. I mean, you can actually sort of have a little bit more motion in them, and you just step in. They're like 2 little bars, and then it clicks in. Anyway, you got your left foot in there, or whatever you ride, goofy or regular, and step in with your left foot. I had it, and then on my right foot would usually be, in the middle of the board, and there'd be like a little rubber pad there. So you put your foot there, and you have a little bit more control, when you're trying to get through the line or getting off the lift or whatever. A lot of times I'd just get off the lift and immediately step in and then just try and get down the mountain.
Yeah.
A few times it was more flat, when you'd get off the lift. You'd have to like skateboard it out. There's a spot in Breckenridge when you get down at the bottom of the mountain. I can't remember what run it is, but it's like blue and then like a little bunny run, and it goes sort of. When you're going down it, sometimes you can lose speed, so you get pretty good at doing that whole skateboard thing. That's fun. If snowball fight, sometimes they frown on that. Sometimes the resort frowns on that. So there can be collateral damage.
Yeah.
My buddy smacked his skier in the head one time with the snowball, and his dude was going like faster than crap, dude. Oh, he didn't biff it or anything. But we didn't see him.
Took it to the dome and kept on going.
Throwing it at me, and the guy was flying by, and he took it to the dome, kept going.
That's awesome.
He was a little bit pissed. He raised his stick up in the air, but he kept going.
Yeah. Angry fist.
That's probably why Warren's saying that he's so happy the snowboarders are not at the mountain
Yeah.
in Utah. That's a hater. Anyway, snowboarding's fun. It's awesome. Sorry, Bike, are we alienating you today?
Huh? Oh.
What? What?
Yes, snowboarding's awesome.
We need to take a trip. Head up to the mountains, hang out. We all need to hang out and do some cool stuff. We should go to the sushi place that I went to, if it's still there, in Silverthorne.
I don't like sushi.
Damn it!
Not this far away from the ocean, I don't.
This place is ran by Chinese people, though.
Littering and
Sorry. It's fresh fish. It was good, dude. That place got me interested into sushi.
it was fresh at one point.
Good. All right. Back to the news here. We talked about the awesome act of snowboarding for quite a while there.
Yeah.
Massachusetts medical marijuana dispensaries may open this summer. Continuing to talk about yesterday, we mentioned Massachusetts had ruled, the Attorney General said, hey, can't ban dispensaries. You can put zoning in place, but you can't ban dispensaries. It's good news.
They'll make it difficult.
It's good news for, what do you call them?
For the massholes.
Yesterday, it's like, I put two and two together. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it took you a second.
I thought you were just saying you were a man and an a-hole, like a masshole.
Never heard that. No, this is a masshole.
Massachusetts. I like people from I've never met anybody I don't like from Massachusetts. Or
Hey, go
anybody
F
that's
yourself.
How about now?
Yesterday, Bike's like,
Term of endearment.
yesterday Brittany suggested this a female, a friend of ours, or someone that we've met, an acquaintance, to be on the show. And damn it, I forgot where I was going with that. I was looking at this other story. Dang it. Oh yeah, I know what I was going to talk about. You annoying me.
Yes.
Bike mentioned when Brittany, one of our friends, had suggested this girl to be on the show, and Bike was like, "Yeah, there's too many guys." And then his next post was like, "I think Tim's already has a hard enough time with me."
Tim can barely handle me.
No, I don't think. I think you misjudged my whole. I think you misjudged the situation. It's that me trying to not really tick you off, and I mentioned that the point where I stopped giving a fuck is maybe where you.
It's pretty hard to piss me off.
Yeah, but don't worry about me. I'll be all right.
Like I said, go F yourself.
I'm a big boy.
Okay.
I can handle it. But at some point, you may get a lot more crap than you do now. But maybe not, because you do handle it pretty well and you do deal it out.
I haven't even started dealing it out. There's been little leaks here and there.
It's not going to affect me.
It's just gonna make you tougher. That's all.
It's not going to affect me.
Roughen you up.
Medical marijuana dispensaries could open in Massachusetts by this summer now that state public health officials plan to approve final regulations this spring. Cottonmouth, hold on.
I've heard from good sources that there's already a few of them lined up. Just need turnkey operation. Need to open the door as soon as the law is passed, and they're good to go. I don't know how true that is, but that would make sense. I mean, what's going to be interesting in Massachusetts is Boston and Denver have just about the same population, in between about 750 to 800,000 residents.
What?
Boston and Denver have about the same population. Look up on Wikipedia. Denver's spread out.
Oh, shoot. I thought there was
Denver's spread out.
more people in Denver.
Denver's landmass is 3 times the size of Boston's.
Whoa, wait, hold on here. Metro Denver has a population of 2.7 million.
That's the metro area. That's surrounding towns. I'm talking about the city of Denver. If you look on Wikipedia.
Yeah, 619,000.
Okay.
Denver, Colorado. Metro Denver has a population. How does it?
Well, that's Lakewood, Aurora, Inglewood. That's the metro area. Now look up the city of Boston's right around the same. Nonetheless, you know how many dispensaries are in Denver approximately?
180.
205 approximately.
I thought I remember the number 180.
Boston is in Suffolk County, Massachusetts. The law in Massachusetts is saying that there can be at least 1 and a maximum of 5 dispensaries per county. So if Denver has 205 to serve 700,000 people in the city and surrounding area, Boston can have 5 to serve the same amount of people. How the hell is that going to work?
It's that I don't like the idea of eliminating open markets. I don't like that idea. It'll work. It won't be as prolific as it is here.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I was hoping for a better reaction from you on what I just said, but
I'm looking at demographics and stuff here.
Okay.
Dude, Angry Birds on.
So what do you got? 600-something thousand on Denver?
Yeah, I was looking at the there's all these updated populations. The internet is awesome.
Boston population 625,087.
You have a computer there? There you go.
What do you get for Denver?
It's pretty much the same.
Yeah, about 600,000.
I agree.
So how the hell is that going to work? 5 dispensaries serving all those people, or is here we have 205, and that's just in this one county. There's 205 dispensaries.
The problem is the quality that I think about more. Yeah, the quality and people's access, obviously.
Access.
People are going to have a problem getting to these spots.
Well, granted, the next city right next to Boston, Cambridge, happens to be in a different county.
But
so there's 5 more dispensaries, but that's 10, and that's a whole different city, too.
But what would be a better idea also to look at is how many legal patients we're dealing with in this situation, too.
True.
So, I mean, if they have an influx of people, or if they don't have that many people right now, I mean, it might make sense 5. But see, that's another thing, is because people are still going to have to travel far. Some people are going to have to...
Yes. Wait in line.
In some sort of situation. If there's enough people, yeah. Wish for the best in Massachusetts, but that does sound crappy. It'll still work, and this is a great ruling. Is there only going to be 5 dispensaries?
Per county.
I'm going by what you're saying.
Up to...
5 per county.
Yes.
See, I mean, that's not horrible. Should have paid attention to you the first time, but I was looking at the numbers.
It's pretty bad compared to what we're spoiled with here, 205.
It is, but not every place is like that. I mean, not every county even has 5 dispensaries. There's places that don't even have dispensaries.
Also,
Jefferson, where we're living in Jefferson County, has, I don't think, ever really had a dispensary since regulations went through. They were one of the first ones to
Lakewood has
ban
dispensaries.
it. Jefferson County doesn't have dispensaries.
Lakewood does.
Well,
Yeah, Lakewood.
Native Roots is
We're
in
down
Lakewood.
like Littleton.
Lakewood is not where we're
Jeff-
at, dude.
Well, I'm just saying Lakewood is Jeffco.
Lakewood is not in Jefferson County.
$10 bet. $10 bet.
I mean,
McDouble, bet you-
Lakewood is a home rule municipality that, yeah, I mean, it's most.
Bet you
It's in
McDouble.
Jefferson County.
Thank you.
And Lakewood, Jefferson County banned dispensaries, dude.
Check out Native Roots in Lakewood and see where they're at.
I know, that does make sense because we got a new sponsor too. Hold on here.
Where are they out of?
I don't know. Keep talking. I'm trying to look stuff up too.
I'm just gonna.
It's crazy.
I'm just
We
gonna
do
say
have
facts.
That is where the dispensary that we signed on yesterday too. CPM is at too. There's parts of maybe it's unincorporated Jefferson County. We might be in that area.
You're way down.
I'll clarify that with Warren. I thought all of Jefferson County.
All of Arapahoe
God,
County.
Jefferson County is huge, dude.
Yes, it goes up
Freaking
into the
massive.
mountains.
I know.
You take Hamden all the way west.
I forgot how huge it was. I didn't know it went all the way up to Lakewood, though. I forgot about that. I don't pay attention to...
Like Conifer is where it ends, I think.
It's huge, dude. People outside of Colorado.
So, yeah, we got
Have
no
no clue.
dispensaries in Aurora and Arapahoe County. Maybe you're confusing that.
No, Jefferson County banned dispensaries. There's some with Jefferson County banning dispensaries. Now you're going to make me look this up.
So, all those people in Aurora have no access, so they got to go to Denver. I know people in Aurora that go to Denver.
I had to do that too. when I
Aurora
lived up
had a
there. I lived way
badass
east
growy
Colfax.
situation for a while. Aurora, you was like had unlimited grow in houses for a while. They were getting ready to. It was one of the better places to grow
Not
for
anymore.
yourself for a while, but state came in and kind of took that situation out. Jefferson County Board of Commissioners voted unanimously. Let me read this. Jefferson County Board of Commissioners voted unanimously to prohibit businesses that cultivate, manufacture, or sell medical marijuana or marijuana-infused products within unincorporated Jefferson County. Resolution came with support from the Jeffco Sheriff's Office, District County's office. I'm looking for what's included in unincorporated Jefferson County. This is important because just as we're talking about in Massachusetts ruling that you can't ban dispensaries,
People from Massachusetts have no idea what an unincorporated county is either.
you have
We don't have that. We don't have townships. We don't have any of that crap.
what is Massachusetts called? Is it? I mean, it's a state,
It's
but
called Massachusetts.
but isn't it like a?
Oh, it's a Commonwealth.
yeah, the Commonwealth. of
There's only four.
Massachusetts.
There's four Commonwealths left. There's Massachusetts, Virginia, Pennsylvania.
What does that exactly mean?
It means we're better than, just a little bit better than you. So I live in the state now, but I actually don't even know. But you don't get a letter from the state of Massachusetts. You get a letter from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, and Virginia, I think. I can't remember. Kentucky, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts are the four Commonwealths.
When where we're at, there's like no dispensaries around us. Applewood, Aspen Park, Columbine, Conifer, East Pleasant View, Evergreen, Genesee, Indian Hills, Ken Carl, Kitteridge, West Pleasant View. Basically the
That's
area.
Jeffco?
Basically the area we're in. Yeah,
That's
those places are a
unincorporated
lot of
Jeffco.
like in the foothills, up towards the mountains, conifers in the mountains. Evergreen Mountain. That's interesting. All right, back to Massachusetts. The Department of Public Health's draft regulations will be issued March 29th if approved by the Public Health. All right, I thought the camera was on you. It's a Friday. I forgot about the Friday thing. It's Friday. You ain't got no job.
I'm gonna get you high today.
to do.
You're supposed to wait.
Yeah.
A new Friday coming out maybe soon. That is sweet.
That'd be awesome.
Department of Public Health's draft regulations issued March 29th will be issued March 29th. If approved, the Public Health Council, which reviews all health policies in Massachusetts, the rules governing marijuana dispensaries could go in effect May 24th. Attorney General Martha Coakley has also ruled that Massachusetts cities and towns cannot ban local dispensaries for medical marijuana. They can adopt measures to regulate and or delay dispensaries. Coakley's ruling, prompted by Wakefield's local ban on dispensaries last fall, states local bans would or will conflict with Massachusetts law.
Wakefield.
Medical marijuana and dispensaries to distribute pot were approved by 63% of Bay State voters last November. A week later, Wakefield residents voted to ban dispensaries. Complete bans on dispensaries violate the intent of the medical marijuana law. So this Wakefield place banned dispensaries, and the state said, nope,
This Wakefield place.
nobody can ban them.
Wakefield is north of Boston, right where I grew up, actually, right next to it.
It's good we have someone that's from that area that we can...
I have a friend that
Relate to.
two people. I still have friends that live in Wakefield.
It's still an imaginary place to me. I've never been to Mass. It doesn't exist to me. I've never seen it.
It's very green. There's a big lake.
If a tree falls in the woods and nobody is there to hear it, does it make a sound?
People exist.
It's like
there.
that situation. Do people exist there if I've never seen them? Really? My life is like a video game. Everything is rendered as we go.
Do you play video games?
It revolves around me. Yes, I play video games. Why the hell wouldn't I play video games?
I don't play video games. That's why I'm
That's
asking.
because you're lame.
We know this.
Chad plays video games too. You're outnumbered in here by gamers.
Heck yeah, games are awesome.
What's
Go,
up?
go, gamer, gamers.
Is there a pinball machine fixed in there?
Yep.
You fix the pinball machine?
Yep.
Figure
We
out how
just
to lift
outed
the,
you there, too.
You figured out how to lift the hood up or something?
Oh no, it didn't really come up like that. It's you gotta release one section and then the glass slides out.
It's a Space Shuttle Challenger
gotta
Edition video pinball machine where
Warren,
the
if you're
Space
listening-
Shuttle crashes.
Yeah, it's a Space Shuttle 3. Warren, if you're listening, I couldn't wait to throw you under the bus here. Warren, if you're listening,
yeah.
Chad broke the pinball machine.
Broke and then fixed.
No, he
Yeah.
didn't break it.
It's just a ball got jammed in a weird spot.
The ball was in the spaceship
Yeah,
portal
on a
the
ramp,
side
even.
on the ramp
On the
and
spaceship.
the little thing. It just got caught right there. It does look like it's leaning to the right here.
Yeah, it does.
It needs a doctor.
Totally, the top looks.
Needs a
on
pinball
level.
doctor.
Weird. Yeah. He said he might have somebody come to
It
him.
might be
up.
just that top part.
The pinball wizard's gonna come in and fix it.
We're gonna have a fundraiser at some point in time to deal with those video games in there.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pick like a game on the Pac-Man type machine there. And then we'll probably do a
I'll beat anyone's ass in Galaga.
space shuttle pinball. There's also a foosball table in there. I like foosball.
Yeah. I like that has Donkey Kong on it. That other one.
I'm not gonna threaten to beat anybody at any of those games because I'm gonna lose. I hate when you get somebody in foosball or in ping pong and they're like, "Pa!" It's like
Yeah, it comes
ball
flying
goes
off the-
flying at like 90 miles an hour.
No 5-man.
You're like, I
Hand
quit.
can comes out. You can't take your hand off the paddle when you're playing foosball. You could run your whole arm up the thing and spin it as long as your hand doesn't come off it.
I just play regular,
There's no
recreational
regular.
way.
I play the medical way.
We'll have to get a.
Medicinal foosball.
We'll have to get something. We'll have to get something put together. Is it already almost 12:30? Jesus Christ! I thought I was like, is it almost noon? It's like 12:30. All right, let's get moving because we
I
still
need
got a few
coffee.
stories to talk about.
And the other sponsor.
I'm Munchified. We talked about Element 420 and Warren Edson.
Yeah, but you said that we had a new one.
Yeah, we'll get them on. We'll get them on when we sign some contract and everything. We're gonna
Oh,
do
yeah,
everything
yeah, yeah.
business like here.
Cool.
What munchies you got, by the way? It is Friday.
I got like some hot chips.
You got
and
what hot chips?
Hot chips.
Hook it up. Hook it
Yeah, I'll
up.
see.
I don't care what they are. I'm so. You talking about the? You talking about the crack cocaine of chips? There was still a bag of hot Cheetos in the cabinet.
Don
earlier.
Cheetos?
I was gonna bring those. Chin's listening. She was like, "No, you weren't." We just like going to hide them now. All right. Chat's got a whole bag of munchies over here. It's awesome. A complete bans on dispensaries violate the intent of the medical marijuana law, Coakley said. Last month, the ACLU wrote Coakley urging her to rule against the Wakefield bylaw. The purpose of Question 3 was to legalize medical marijuana and to create a statewide system of treatment centers, making it available to patients with prescriptions from their treating physicians. Wakefield's ban would thwart that purpose, said the ACLU of Massachusetts. In a separate ruling, Coakley approved Burlington's moratorium on medical marijuana dispensaries, which prevents any centers until June 30th, 2014. You brought a selection of every single one of them, dude?
Don Cheetos.
This guy's awesome.
yeah, just one of each. Yeah.
Oh, dude, of course I'm getting that one. Some Cheetos, Flamin' Hot Crunchy Cheetos.
Flaming hot Funyuns.
Those are good, too. They kind of give me a stomachache on an empty stomach, though.
There's the ingredients on some Funyuns. That'd be some Funyun.
Oh, they're so good.
We watched a pretty funny.
Chinese cancer.
Keep talking about Boston while I eat.
Keep talking about Boston while you eat? Mm-hmm. That's friggin' rude of you to say.
What's the weed like there? I've asked you before, but what's the weed like going to be like when...
The weed in Boston is the same as the shitty weed in California no one wants. And it's
Oh, yeah,
the
I
same.
remember that.
It's Beasters. It's Swag. It's homegrown. I don't ever remember seeing quality homegrown like I see here in Massachusetts, but I've been told recently that it exists. I know. Has
Hash?
all the hash is Canadian black headache hash, black and gummy, and a little browner on the inside. Hasn't been any good import hash there since the mid '90s. We used to get blonde Moroccan.
So in other words, things should improve.
I don't know. They should.
But they might not.
It's really hard to tell. Colorado and Massachusetts are two totally different places, and I know that the weed scene was a lot different here before MMJ, and it's a lot different in Massachusetts right now as MMJ is coming on.
It wasn't crazily different here though in Colorado before medical marijuana happened. What got crazy was when how from underground everything came. I mean, a lot's changed, but really, I mean, if you're a stoner, you still get your stuff from people that grow, home grow, from private, reserve, still go to somebody. I mean, a lot really didn't change up until legalization. Obviously, legalization's changed a lot of things, but what do you mean by before medical marijuana?
Here?
Yeah, like what do you mean?
Well, I mean, weed, there's
like
a lot more people grew. It was a lot more relaxed.
During the first couple of years? Yeah,
I'm talking about when I got here, there was no medical marijuana. A lot more people here are open about smoking weed, or open about growing weed. It's not like that in Massachusetts.
Oh, no, I agree with that, but...
Never has been.
But what do you mean, like, it's changed here? Like, the situation's changed here? Over, like medical marijuana changed Colorado's marijuana community?
I think just maybe the people that weren't so willing to come out and be open about it have the opportunity to. I see old ladies and older dudes in the dispensary all the time. That's the average.
But living here my whole life, I've seen that my whole life almost, is different sorts of people token up and, being cannabis users. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just a little jaded and don't.
You are. And that's all right. I'm getting there. I have to remind myself every so often that.
I can't stop eating these spicy Cheetos. They're so good.
Crush up the bag and just pour the powder in your mouth, and you can just swallow it with some water and get it over with.
It's so not. That's a good idea.
Sniff a line of hot Cheeto powder.
It's not a good idea to eat on radio, but I figure Bubba does it. I'm hungry. I got the munchies. I'm gonna do it. Apologize. Last one. All right. Thank you for that update.
Yeah, I can't wait to find out more.
So rude of me.
You said you wanted to make sure to get to the St. Louis cop story?
Yeah, I'll get to that.
Cool.
I'm not done talking about Massachusetts right now.
Alrighty.
But I appreciate that. Clearly, the Attorney General's decision reaffirms that cities and towns do have the ability to regulate and adopt bylaws that will set conditions regarding the location of other issues of dispensaries. That in itself is good news for those communities. Oh, you cracked your knuckles. I heard that. I was like, It's for those communities in regulating or limiting where the facility can be located. For example, not in a residential area, not near schools, not in a downtown commercial district. The law permits up to 35 nonprofit dispensaries or treatment centers within the state, but no more than 5 can be built in any one county, as Mike said. Isfar Patel, who works at Elm Street Discount Cigarettes and Variety in Pittsfield, which sells glass pipes, said he's hopeful that if a dispensary is built in the Berkshires, it would increase sales. We only sell one every few weeks now. I said that with an accent in my head.
A Western Massachusetts accent?
Yeah, that's it.
Pittsfield is right on the New York border.
If we start selling more, we could have a bigger selection, too. So awesome. Forward thinking. Currently, the shop has only 5 glass pipes on display for sale. That's a little bit different than here in Colorado. What? You only have 5 glass pipes?
That's ridiculous.
What?
So nobody buys anything? Or?
That's what he said. 1 a week, or 1 every 2 weeks.
Yeah, dang. 5 glass.
Pittsfield Mayor Daniel Bianchi said his proposals to regulate dispensaries within the city and to the Community Development Board are under review. With the announcement from the Public Health Council, the proposals drafted by City Solicitor Kathleen Degnan could be expedited, with dispensary applications potentially available this summer. During a hearing before the Public Health Council, Cheryl Bartlett, a deputy interim commissioner for the State Department of Public Health, spelled out the first official time frame for putting into effect medical marijuana dispensaries. Right? Bartlett said the department will file draft regulations for medical marijuana by March 29th and will present those regulations to the Public Health Council on April 10th. We feel it's important to put forward those regulations into the public domain as quickly as possible so as to allow prospective medical marijuana treatment center applicants sufficient time to study our regulations prior to engaging in a competitive application process this summer and fall. What we should do is keep these dates in mind and mark them down on like a calendar or something and come back to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These Cheetos are so good. I want to take another one, but
Take them away.
damn it. Don't touch my Cheetos. I'm telling you, man, that there's something in that spicy hot, flaming hot Cheeto mix.
It's meth.
It's like crack. It's an addictive drug. It's like that's more addictive than weed is. Seriously, these spicy hot Cheetos.
Dick.
I've ate so many of them lately. I've got used to
Not
them. They used to mess
addictive?
up. I can't eat anything really spicy.
Did you
that
say
much.
weed is addictive?
I'm saying that weed is more is these are more addictive than weed.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Weed is mentally addictive. It can be mentally, I need to get high.
Yeah.
It's not any physical necessary withdrawal from it. You may feel down because you don't have any more weed. Damn, I don't have any more weed. I don't want to be going through life on weed. Good times.
On weed.
Yeah.
I want to be on some weed.
My son Kyle's pretty funny because he likes these Cheetos and hot stuff, but as long as he's eating them, like he keeps eating, he's okay. As long as once he stops eating them.
Careful of the camera there.
Oh yeah. Once he stops eating them, then he's running and asking for a drink and it's burning his mouth. But it's like as long as he keeps going, he's all right.
That's kind of how it works with them.
Pretty funny.
That's how it works with them.
Kick in, yeah.
Flying your hands around there, you're going to knock the camera.
Yeah, karate chop.
It's an active dude over here. Now, this is as much as Chad moves. Kidding. All right, next story we'll talk about is what you mentioned.
The St. Louis cop.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
I found it. I was going to go to talk about Nevada. Crime is crime. That's the introduction to the blog. As long as here's the topics of cops getting. As long as we're on the topic of cops getting mixed up with illegal drugs, this story wanted to mention the strange case of St. Louis police officer Gary Weigert, otherwise known as Sergeant Feelgood. Wonder how you got that name. In February, maybe I don't. In February, Weigert got approval to take a second job, as many cops do. Unfortunately for the department, Weigert's second job was as a lobbyist for Show Me Cannabis. Unfortunately for the department. A group that advocates reforming Missouri's marijuana laws. Weigert's embarrassed superiors moved quickly to harsh this buzz, revoking his approval of outside employment. This week, Weigert sued the department, alleging it was restricting his First Amendment rights. You can understand the department's chagrin, and the writer gets the sense that Weigert he's a committed libertarian who once hosted a radio show called Cop Talk, does this sort of button-pushing thing fairly often, but the department apparently has no problem with its officers pursuing political activities. Before this, Weigert was registered as a lobbyist for the St. Louis Tea Party. We all know that the upset here on the part of the department is the fact that he is lobbying for an organization that is named Show Me Cannabis. Weigert's attorney told the Riverfront Times, and while cop becomes marijuana lobbyist isn't as embarrassing as cop becomes murder lobbyist, it's still, how can you compare the two? It's still the sort of headline designed to irritate the top police brass. That's a shame because Weigert has a really good point. His lawsuit notes that the draconian charges and consequences arising out of possession of small amounts of marijuana, in plaintiff's view, has become a detriment on society's resources and to society. This is my favorite cop in the world. It's also a drain on police department resources. Of the 204 controlled substance arrests on the St. Louis Police Department, done by them, reported in February of 2013, 84, just more than 40% involved either possession or sale of marijuana. Cops waste a lot of time and effort on marijuana violations, and I don't think it undermines the police department's authority if its members acknowledge that fact. No, in fact, I think it is fantastic. Not just because I would like to reform cannabis laws and reform the drug war, but 40% of arrests, okay? And this follows a trend all through America at police departments everywhere, that almost half of their arrests, when I did news stories, this number came up all the time. 40% range was just a constant number with cannabis arrests. And they use that. They keep that high of a number to get grants from the federal government, to get money from them to run and go and buy their cool equipment. Like you mentioned yesterday, there was a police Camaro, brand new Camaro parked across from us, and you were telling like in small town Kansas, these guys had bought this brand new like
Charger, Challenger, whatever
it's
it
like
was.
it wasn't even a car that could go as fast as this thing.
Yeah.
It was like in a rundown truck.
No need for it, really.
But perfect example, we're paying with our freedom for them to go out and get cool little spy gadgets and run their numbers up, because they're, and this is why they still argue the drug war is a success. They run these numbers. It's like, okay, well, catching a stoner is really not that hard. In Colorado, catching a stoner, especially not that hard. All right.
So I don't feel like we're doing anything wrong.
It's not that we're stupid. Yes, exactly. It's that we don't feel like we're doing anything wrong necessarily, and we're open with it in other places. Why? Again, I mentioned to you guys, be careful this weekend with DUI in Colorado. With the St. Patty's Day going on, there's going to be DUI checkpoints all over the entire nation. But here in Colorado, Washington, I'm sure that people, the police officers, are going to be directed to look out for cannabis too. They're going to smell it. It's going to be more of a situation to where they're going to bug you about it, because it is a huge conversation here in Colorado. Besides the gun debate and gay marriage, which civil unions went through in Colorado, did they?
Yes, they did.
Yes. So you can have legal weed and
come get high and marry a guy.
oh my god!
Oh no!
Get high, man! Oh my goodness!
We got that here.
That's good that it happened, man. It's good that it happened. It's about damn time.
Massachusetts was the
Here,
first state
See
to
my bedhead hair going on.
Somebody saying, why isn't anybody making hemp
my
paper in Colorado?
Dude,
Can't
that
grow hemp
situation.
yet.
I've never worn this. I've never really seen me wear this hat in front. I'm looking at myself in the camera.
You look like a fisherman or a country tow truck driver like Enos.
It doesn't look too horrible. Like Enos.
Yes.
I'm glad it wasn't the other Enos. What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Enos?
What were we saying?
The hemp paper thing?
That's another
They can't do
situation
it.
here in Colorado that we need to talk about, because Colorado hemp is going to be proliferating more. I can wear it sideways like all the gangsters do. Colorado hemp is going to be a thing of the future, because as gets largely forgotten about when we talk about Amendment 64, hemp was included in that bill too. Legalization of industrial hemp and studies to be done on cannabis. I mean, there was a lot more to that bill than just legalization of cannabis.
They couldn't just use all this waste that's going off of the, like dispensary stuff. They couldn't just use these stalks and crap.
I saw a news story yesterday, actually, about, it was a smaller news story about somebody that was going to be trying to make a company somewhere was going to be trying to do
Like a recycling
situation,
type of thing.
as more and more medical marijuana became a big thing, Here in Colorado, there's regulations of just throwing out. You can't just throw out, plants and other things into the garbage can if you're a dispensary. There's rules behind that.
You gotta spray it with nasty chemicals first.
Do you?
Something like that.
I don't know about that. We'll have to
I
ask
do.
about that. That's crazy.
Could
if
it just
you would.
stems?
What? That's nuts, man. That's scary. But yeah, there's proper ways to dispose of it. So these things are coming up more and more. But this guy
Mulch
was
it.
trying to make fuel, making fuel. off
Yeah,
it.
that'd be cool.
Off the detriked material.
It'd be more of like an introduction to introducing people to fuel that can be made from hemp, because you mass produce hemp like a mofo.
Yeah.
And you would need probably a lot of plant material to make fuel. And I can't imagine, even with as big as dispensaries and greens are in Colorado, that there would be enough to even do anything.
Flex fuel.
I mean, I'm not even talking about making a dent.
420 flex fuel.
Yeah, 420 flex fuel. Yo, my Ford 420 runs off of flex fuel.
I need to go to the dispensary to get some weed and some fuel.
Yeah.
Craziness. Awesome. So yeah, be careful as you head out this weekend. I want to follow this cop. Make sure we keep an eye on this cop.
Criminy.
This is quite interesting. This weekend, tomorrow, I think, UFC 158 main event fighter Nick Diaz goes at it. He doesn't make any secret of his medical marijuana issues or use, and says that he has approval to legally do so in the state of California where he resides. Several states, Colorado and Washington, among the most recent, have legalized limited recreational use of marijuana. What? Did you hear what I just said?
Legalization.
Several states, Colorado and Washington, among the most recent, have even legalized limited recreational use of marijuana. I actually read most of this story first time. I must have skimmed through that and not read that part. Huh. No, that is wrong. MMA Weekly doesn't even give an article. It's on Yahoo Sports. It's like one of the front page articles, dude.
They're pros on the weed subject.
I don't even want to read the rest of the article because then that just makes me be like, it doesn't. Nothing holds weight to me anymore. What are you doing? Are you rubbing your nose on the microphone? I was like, what is that noise?
I just have a big nose.
That's awesome. Everybody's gonna love that. I wish I had the camera on you.
I'm glad you didn't hear it. Don't even bother.
Here, let me move this over a little bit. I'm gonna move the camera. He sat up, damn it. I was slow to the punch. Athletic commissions, however, prohibit the use of performance-enhancing and recreational drugs such as marijuana. So whether you agree or disagree with it, Diaz has no license and grants him to have it in his system come fight time. This is only an issue because Diaz has twice before tested positive for marijuana metabolites. In fact, he is coming off a 1-year suspension for just that substance as he enters Saturday's fight for... oh, dude, we gotta watch this. He's fighting George St. Pierre.
If you want to fight, I ain't watching it.
What?
I said I don't have to watch it. Do you want to fight?
I want to watch
Don't tell me what to do.
I don't know what you're talking about. I missed...
You just told me what I got to do.
I was telling Chad.
Okay.
I was pointing at him, telling him.
I'm not here, I guess.
You can talk. Be quiet today.
I don't. It's sports. It's sports. If you want to talk, shut me up. Talk about sports.
All right. Well, let's continue on with this.
Right. You can get it online for free or what?
Probably.
Cool.
We could. There might be a bar we can go to. Watch it for free.
I forgot they do that. Yeah.
We don't necessarily have to have anything to drink. You know what? There, Red and Jerry's is down there. Yeah, Red and Jerry's, Dave and Buster's. Maybe
Buster's
find somewhere else
awesome.
if it flies.
Yeah.
If it flies. Did we already ask Jen? Probably. Nope. She's probably busy today.
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on.
She's been busy. All right. UFC President Dana White thinks that Diaz couldn't survive another positive test for marijuana and would probably be an inevitable release from UFC if he tests positive again. I would say he probably would have to go. White commented in a pre-fight press conference. The promotion has already set a precedent with Matt Riddle, who recently was released from his contract after having a victory changed to a no contest for a second time following a positive drug test for marijuana metabolites. That's not to say that White is any different than a large vocal segment of the fight fan population that disagrees with marijuana being a banned substance. White says, to say that marijuana is a performance-enhancing drug, I think it's the exact opposite. What the commission is saying is that they think it's a painkiller. Still ridiculous, said White. It is. I don't believe in it, but here's the facts. He said he doesn't believe in the rules. It's illegal. He doesn't believe that the rule should be there, I guess. But he goes on to say he does believe in the rules here. You can't do it. It says in the regulations you can't. If you get busted for doing it, you're probably going to be in big trouble. You're going to lose money. You're going to lose the ability to work for a year. So it is what it is. I just hope that it doesn't happen Saturday. Diaz has used marijuana for the majority of his career, which spans 35 professional fights, and tested positive just twice. He stops using before fights because he's not oblivious. He realizes that he isn't allowed to have it in his system when the drug test is administered, but he has slipped up at least twice. He doesn't think it will happen again. I think I tested for a metabolite or a nanogram or something. So it's like extremely low following my last fight. So it was hardly. So I just did a little more than I did last time. I don't know what he means by this. The only reason why I read this story was for the quotes, because quotes are usually 90% accurate most of the time. But then, unless you don't fix the quote, then it doesn't make any sense in your story. That's why there's parentheses.
Yeah.
They put it. I actually fixed it a couple times, but then there's anyway. Biggest fight of Nick Diaz's career. I hope he smokes a big doobie beforehand, because I mean, he was talking about retiring after his last fight, after being banned for a year from fighting. So he was talking about retiring. So, beat this dude's ass this time around, and test positive for marijuana, and be like, look, it is a performance-enhancing drug. All right, anyway. Got a little excited there. UFC will do that to people, man. They get all fired up.
Yeah.
Another sports story. Former LSU defensive back Tyrann Mathieu. I think that's how you say his name. I don't follow sports a shiz done. I'm trying to get more back into it, as I mentioned. It's getting more interesting to me.
The John Doe basketball show.
You do like bicycling.
Yep.
Cycling, man. That's a sport.
It sure is. You don't hear me beating it to death, though, do you?
No, we actually haven't talked about it a lot at all. I'm all chilled back. I looked in the camera. I'm like, the camera's up here. I'm down here. All right, former LSU defensive back. We barely ever talk about sports on the show.
That's why I'm letting you go at it. I'm actually going to go use the men's room.
Go ahead. Says Tyrann Mathieu says the number one thing he wants NFL teams to know about him is he no longer considers smoking marijuana to be more fun than playing football. Mathieu said on NFL Network that he has moved beyond the issue that got him kicked out of school and is 100% focused on being an NFL player. All the things I put before football in the past, it's not fun anymore. Marijuana and everything you put before football is obsolete now. Well, it's good that he grew up and actually realized that there's people out there that probably won't accept your marijuana use. And if I'm a football player, it's going to be really hard for me to quit smoking marijuana. That's a given. But if I'm possibly going to make millions of dollars here, it would be a really hard choice for me to sit and smoke marijuana while being a top pro college athlete. But see, everybody does it, though. That's the thing. Yeah. I would probably get caught for it. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know if I'm saying that I wouldn't do it. No, I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I'd probably be the one that was caught for dealing to the rest of the team. Yo, I got this. It's fantastic. Look at how much this shines. Yeah. This new shiz called Earl. It's like the 7'1" center dude hits it.
Yeah, goes there.
Timber!
Yeah.
You're like, oh crap.
Yeah. Whoops.
Stinks like weed.
Trainer's like, what's going on? Stinks like weed in here because I got a bag of weed.
It smells so good as soon as you walk in.
There's legal weed here.
Let's see.
Legal weed.
Oh, is that Collins?
Some over here too.
Nah, it's the stuff we got on Monday. This is pretty good stuff. Damn, I smelled it too when I brought it out of that bag.
Yeah.
Ah, it smells good. It's getting to the end of the show. We got like 8 minutes here, so we can go smoke afterwards.
Sweet.
I'd really like to go talk to our sponsors, our new sponsors too. That'd be cool. Got a whole weekend. After describing quitting marijuana as a big struggle, dude said he had been getting high since family members had first given him marijuana at age 12 or 13. Biggest question he heard from NFL coaches at the scouting combine was why he got kicked out of LSU. Mathieu said, every team already knows exactly what he did, but that he knows they wanted to see how forthright he would be. Interesting. Asked what answers he gave to that question, he said marijuana. It's smoking marijuana, and then it's all the things you kind of surround yourself around. The marijuana was the issue, but it was the social things, too, that I had to get in line. He was part of the whole thing. Shame on you. Such a shame. Now he just hopes some team will believe in him and said he's got when he says he's gotten in line. I think it's a lot easier to get on a football team or a basketball team, pro team, after getting in trouble with marijuana than it used to be. So, probably be all right somewhere. Might have to go to Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, Canada. Mason Divert's in Canada. Up there. We'll have him on next week. Mason Divert, the head of SAFER with MPP. I think, too. He better be with MPP. I've seen him just with MPP stuff all around him. They'd be smart to hire him. Hawaii House. We're going to get through all the news today. Hawaii House to decriminalize small amounts of marijuana. Approved.
This sounds like a fraternity. Hawaii House.
That was just a messed up sentence. That wasn't even correct. A bill to decriminalize small amounts of marijuana is making its way through the Hawaii House of Representatives. The Judiciary Committee approved the bill Thursday over objections from law enforcement officials who say the proposal would undermine their work. I just put my own facts in there and then corrected myself right away. Accurate and informative. John Doe Radio Show. We are, damn it. The Senate version of the bill decriminalized up to an ounce of the drug, but House Judiciary Committee Chairman Carl Rhodes amended the bill, the measure to decrease the amount to 0.7 of an ounce or 20 grams. What? Have you ever bought 0.7 an ounce of an ounce?
Probably.
You ever gone to your dealer and been like, I need 0.7? Your dealer would be like, poosh. I'd be like, dude, no. Be like, how much money you got? All right, here you go.
That's more like it.
Exactly. Rhodes also added language to say possession by minors is still criminal and emphasized negative effects of the drug on youth. You mean the wrong negative effects? Vice Chairman Sharon Har says the proposal conflicts with federal law, jeopardizes public safety, and sends the wrong message to children. Har voted to pass the bill with strong reservations. I'll vote for it, but I don't like it. Awesome. So Hawaii, yeah. But that was just the Judiciary Committee. So it goes into the House and then to the full Senate. And then possibly approved.
Wicked pissa.
Wicked pissa! All right, last story for today. Legal Colorado. Oh, did we already read that legal Colorado? Yeah, we already did. Legal Colorado marijuana, still a no-no in Kansas.
Yeah.
Seems like you just read that 2 hours ago.
Yeah. Seems like I did. I didn't put it in the right order, though. Oh, yeah, we didn't cover the Nevada one. That's the one I was going to talk about. A state lawmaker wants to make it legal to possess marijuana for recreational use in Nevada, but experts say his proposal presents problems. Experts say his proposal presents problems. Proposal presents problems. Say it. Damn it. What a jackass.
Quiet jackass. Try to be quiet so you can get more stuff done.
Nah, you need to chime up. You've been very quiet.
Chime
today.
up? How do you do that? I thought you'd chime in.
Oh, I've had the camera on you the whole time.
Or you pipe down.
I thought the camera was on me.
Pipe down.
That's how much I pay attention to the video portion of our program here. See, when you talk, it gives me a chance to check on things and look away from the news stories. A state lawmaker wants to make Nevada the next state to legalize marijuana. That's what the headline should have been. If Assemblyman Joe Hogan introduces his bill in Carson City as planned on Friday, Nevada would become the 6th state to consider decriminalizing pot. But Nevada is already struggling with the law that allows medical marijuana, and some question whether it's wise to make something legal at the state level that could still land you in federal prison. So real quick here, we finish out the story, then I have a story about Nevada. We actually, you have to really try hard in Las Vegas to get into trouble. Even, let's see, another bill in the works would create a system to dispense medical marijuana. It's legal to use it, but there's no way to get it. That's an interesting topic in Nevada. And I'm sure if this situation gets more serious with decriminalizing marijuana, legalization for recreational use, then we'll talk about it more. Nevada's like a weird place. You can go to Las Vegas and try really hard to get in trouble and not get in trouble and just kind of get a smack on the wrist. And you can go to other places and get into a lot of trouble. Like, you don't want to get caught with marijuana, really, in Nevada, and if you're not a medical patient. We were in Las Vegas, Swagger and we were in the room, and some craziness went down. We ended up with police ending up around the room. Whatever. We're bong makers, pipe makers, glass artists. So there was some bongs in the room. The police were like, what are these? And they made us break the bongs.
Dang.
They made us break the bongs right there. And Josh cut himself, and the police officer was so pissed that he cut himself. He's like, now, not only with marijuana, but we got to cordon off this room because it's a biohazard. And I was like, what?
Douchebag says what?
I was in bed, dude, at this point in time, and I had to get out. I had my shirt off. And we're out in the hall. I ended up getting locked out in the hall. I was slightly inebriated, too. It's amazing I didn't mouth off to the cop and get thrown in jail or anything. The cops were like, "Where's the weed?" or whatever. We didn't have any weed with us really. We brought concentrates with us, and that concentrate was pretty much gone. At one point, after this, I was trying to smoke Earl off of the what's that thing called? the
Skillet.
No, the freaking clothes thing. What? How can I not think of what I'm thinking about? It just ruined my whole story here. What's the iron? Yes, I was trying to dab off an iron, dude. I was like, I wonder if the iron will get hot enough that you can dab off of it.
Can it?
If you leave it on for a little while, it will slightly work, but you also get a funky ass taste.
Like
Polyester and starch.
Dude. I don't suggest it unless you're horribly like just completely like, dude, I got a toke. Anyway, we're 30 seconds overtime here. 20 seconds overtime or so. But yeah, that happened, and then it was craziness. I ended up in the lobby of the Imperial Palace with no shirt, my skinny ass. I was locked out of the room. But we didn't get arrested or anything like that. The cop was just, one of them was a dick. The other guy was not. So,
Good cop, dick cop.
whew. Las Vegas, you got to do something really. That was the point in time I was like, man, yeah, you really got to do something really stupid in Las Vegas. Like maybe throw an iron out the window into the pool. That didn't happen either.
Jeez.
Somebody may or may not have done that. All right, it's a John Doe Radio Show.
Have a great weekend.
See ya.
Have a fantastic weekend. Chad, thank you guys. And Bike,
Thank you.
you doing anything that's interesting this weekend real quick?
Off the top of my head, nope.
Just chilling like a villain.
I'm gonna judge more entries.
Yeah, I got
I'm gonna
3
finish
more
up
to
the
go.
judging. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do too. So, all right. You guys do have a fantastic weekend.
Right, I'm going to go smoke. You should do the same.
I'm your host, John Doe. Until we meet again on Monday. Mason Divert, K-Sass, Glass, awesomeness next week. Have yourself a fantastic weekend. See ya.
The John Doe Radio Show is produced by Charlie Stash Entertainment. The John Doe Radio Show programming is not limited but includes information on counterculture subjects and is informational and entertainment purposes only. We specifically include responsible marijuana reform.
Listening to anyone but your mother is just plain stupid.
We accept no responsibility for your actions or misrepresentations, and we do not fully endorse the use of illegal drugs. You are ultimately responsible for yourself.
Live.